Hello, everybody. Welcome to Coaching for Wellness class. So today we have our mock client, Angela, and we will be showing you how to do a strength-based coaching. I will briefly describe a little bit about the presenting concern of this client. So this client has been not feeling pretty good, and mostly because she has not been able to work out. She has lower back pain, so this physical pain is kind of interfering in her daily life as well as preventing her from working out, actually, which actually impedes her progress and feeling better. She has been to therapy and coaching sessions before. She hasn't really found it immensely helpful. And so she has that attitudinal aspect of not really sure if coaching session could be kind of trusted or if she can really think that this is going to be effective later on. Um, this is a totally made up scenario. So the whole point of this session that I want you to take away from is to see what kind of questions that I ask, how that leads to the client, Angela, responding differently, and how throughout our conversation she is able to not only acknowledge her strengths, but also how she's going to carry that on to make meaningful changes in her life before she comes back to our next session, which theoretically would be maybe 1 to 2 weeks after. All right, so let's get started. All right, hi Angela, how are you?
Yeah, okay. How are you doing?
Good, good to see you again.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah, so I just briefly wanted to start out with how you've been feeling since our last session.
To be honest, I haven't been feeling very good.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of lower back pain and chest pain, and
Mm-hmm.
the only thing that really makes me happy is, being able to go to the gym and working out my stress, and now I can't do that, so that's been
Yeah.
hard.
Mm-hmm. So it seems like that's been going on. Not, it hasn't really changed much since from our last session.
Yeah, I don't feel like there's any solution because the only thing that makes me feel better really is to work out, and I can't do
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm. Were you able to do any like little workouts, not as intense workout as like running or lifting and things like that, but just little things such as like walking or doing yoga and stuff like that?
It just doesn't seem worth it to me, you know? If I
Mm.
can't do what I want to do,
Mm-hmm.
then it just seems like almost sadder, you
Mm.
know?
Okay. So it kind of feels like to me that you know that it's not really going to work out well, even if it's more of an easy task. So you don't go in to try it out because you're kind of afraid of the negative outcome that it might incur and make you feel. Because back in the days, you were someone who was like able to do that like really easily and really quickly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. So what I wanted to focus on today is to shift our conversation a little bit and shift our conversation to focus a little bit more on what you already have and some of the strengths that you can utilize in order to feel better and also kind of slowly engage you back to working out and engaging to work out. And the reason why I wanted to kind of shift this conversation a little bit is because we focus on what's not working with you for the past couple sessions and I think it's been helpful, but we can try another strategy and let's see if this is going to be also helpful. Have you heard about the word strengths or like what strengths that you may have as a person?
Yeah, I've heard of that word before. I've never really thought about it, so I can think about it right now. But
Yeah.
um, I guess I feel like I'm good at being like self-aware. Like I know when I'm not feeling good, and I know why I'm
Mm-hmm.
not feeling good.
Nice. So
Um,
you're pretty capable of catching, oh, like this is going to make me feel bad. This is going to make me feel good. So, like those trigger points and how that actually evolves into you actually feeling those emotions.
mhm.
Oh, cool. And you've always kind of been like that person. Naturally, you were able to be more observant and mindful of your own emotional experiences.
I think so.
Okay, cool. So it looks like that's one of the natural strengths that you have, which we will try to amplify in our session today. So, strengths, to give you a little bit of background of what strengths are and how we want to utilize that in you feeling better, is strengths is something that's going to give us the the pathway towards where we want to go. So, of course, we all have our personal weaknesses and we will attend to those things, and that's going to make us at least stay status quo. So, think of like a sailboat, and there's a hole in the sailboat, and let's kind of imagine that the hole is your own personal weakness.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't do anything about the personal weakness, then the sailboat is going to sink, right? So we do want to do something about making sure that the hole is kind of it's covered, we're not going to sink. So we do want to take care of our personal weaknesses in moving forward. But for that sailboat to actually get to somewhere, it has to utilize its sail. I don't know if that's the right word to describe it.
Mm-hmm.
But once there is the right wind, right temperature, the sail will really guide us to the direction that you want to go into.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, we are attending to personal weakness, but really the strengths is something that's going to help you move forward.
Mm-hmm.
So, given that you've been able to be more self aware about your own triggers, let's think about what in the past have made you capable of working out.
Mm, I think that, growing up, I was on a lot of sports teams
Mm-hmm.
and, practicing and then doing it with my family, like always made it, something that I considered a strength because
Mm-hmm.
it was something that I could do with them,
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it made me feel capable if I could move up a weight class or,
Mm-hmm.
run a little farther or
Mm-hmm.
something like that.
Okay. So it seems like there were two components that made you feel that you're enjoying a sports and engaging in that physical activity. One part is whenever you were able to kind of interact with people that, whether that be teammates or your family members, and you engaging in those physical activities. So they're both, I guess, emotional support as well as actually playing together with you. And the other is you kind of seeing your own self improving in your own physical capabilities. So if those are two things that has made you to in the past made you to feel better afterwards, how do you think we can implement that in your current situation?
Mm. I think maybe if we, I'm missing that emotional aspect.
Mm,
Maybe being on a team, like I can't be on teams anymore, and
mm-hmm,
that sense of camaraderie.
mm-hmm,
So maybe I just thinking about this for the first time now, but maybe joining a different kind of organization or
mm-hmm.
something that has membership that would make me feel like fulfilled in that way.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's a great idea. Given that you're pretty aware of what are going to be some triggers that's going to make you feel better, I think it'll help us to really specifically lay out how to achieve that whole progression of, okay, this is a trigger, this is how I'm going to feel better later on.
Mm-hmm.
So, in you thinking about some organizations or groups that you can join, you probably can't join any groups because you are already experiencing some physical pain, your back, lower back, as well as chest pain. So maybe a good way to start is to look for individuals who are easing in to working out or easing into engaging in physical activities. So I would recommend maybe even looking up for in your rehabilitative meetup groups, those people who are kind of recovering from lower back surgery or any sort of surgery that has prevented them to be there at fullest potential
Mm-hmm.
in engaging in with their own bodies.
Yeah, that sounds interesting.
Yeah. Have you been able to, not only in this context, but have you been able to look up easily how to connect to these clubs or these organizations?
I haven't really tried.
No. How about in the past? Not in this context, but if let's say there's a group that you want to join and you don't really know people, you don't really know the culture of the group, have you been able to approach and be part of a group, or were you more like avoidant or hesitant, or did you need like a friend to go together with you? Like, how is your initial adjustment look like?
Usually, I mean, working out has always been something that made me very confident.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was at my best and when I was doing everything that I could do, you know, I had no trouble going into new groups of people because I was
Okay.
feeling good about myself and my
Mm-hmm.
body.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm feeling not like that,
Mm-hmm.
you know, so I think it would be harder to go on my own.
Mm-hmm. Are there anyone in your life right now who will be able to at least just go together with you for the initial session?
Um, I don't know. I feel weird asking, I think.
Weird about what?
Just, I think I don't want to inconvenience anybody, you know. Usually
Mm-hmm.
I feel independent and confident, and,
Mm-hmm.
you know, now I'm feeling really vulnerable.
Mm. Yeah, I can totally imagine kind of having been regressed into this place that you didn't really know that existed, and you have to like slowly learn yourself way back again to get to your optimal level of functioning, which used to be just your just given default state and status. So maybe what we can do is since it is likely that you will benefit from having some sort of group spirit working together towards a certain goal, it's a no-brainer that that's going to be helpful. Our problem here right now is whether you will be able to make that initial step, right, to actually join the group. And because right now you're not really feeling too good about yourself, you're not really sure. So how about you kind of go back home and send out in one of those like meetup group platforms online to see if there's anyone who would like to join in going together, because having a buddy is always going to make you feel a little more comforted going into a new situation, as well as a way to make you be accountable to yourself and the person. How does that sound?
Sounds a little scary, but maybe I could try.
Yeah, so see how it goes. Maybe I think the best time to do it is probably right after our session today, because it's going to be the time that you will feel most confident. As you think more and more about it, it's likely that you will find multiple reasons why you don't want to do it. So, right after our session, maybe try to send those emails or posts out. And if you can, that's fine. We'll try to do it again next week and we will slowly progress into it.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right, so we're gonna pause here for now and yeah.